Cobra JFS, and you are watching the worst of the worst, the show that checks out the worst of the internet. Now here's your host, Brendan. Fuck sickos and fuck the trolls.
Time to start the worst of all the shit we burn up. Got no time for kids, so let's start the worst
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Worst Of, the show that takes a look at all the worst parts of the internet. I'm your host, Brandon, and before we get into today's topic, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to follow us on X over at Worst Of Pod. Come say hello, leave suggestions for things you want to see me cover, tell me to fuck off, all that fun shit. So, Cyraxx, it seems like he's taking a little bit of a break while he's having technical issues. He's got his computer and his Xbox have been destroyed recently, so it's very difficult for him to post any new content. But we do have some leaked video for us to go through. This was taken from his computer before it was bricked, as it were. And this is Chance telling his sob story to a professor and a couple of students. I don't know at what school. I think it's like Boston University or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Chance will get into it when he does. But this is a little bit of revisionist history, so I thought it'd be fun for us to go through Cyraxx's lore and see what he has to say about the whole thing, coming from his words. So here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chance. Your guys' professor, Nick. Obviously, he's from, Boston University. Shout out to your professor. But him and my good friend here that you guys know asked me to make this video for you guys. And I'm not going to hold any punches. And I hate to say it, but in this instance, there is no room for professionalism. There's only reality. I want you guys to know the reality of what really goes on.
All right, so right away, uh, Chance isn't holding anything back. He's ready to tell the story as is, and because of the sheer content of that means that there's not going to be any sort of room for professionalism. He's not going to be polite and coy about it. He's just going to tell the story as is. Sounds good. Let's get into it.
First of all, if you guys don't know, my name is Chance Wilkins, also more formally known as the YouTube handle, or under the YouTube handle Cyraxx. For the last 8 years, I have been the victim of cyberbullying, online trolling, and harassment, as well as hate and smear campaigns. My story begins in 2017 when I was hanging out with a good friend of mine doing a podcast, hanging out, when this guy named Music Biz Marty showed up in chat one day. Don't know how he found the channel, but hey, it is what it is. And he decided to try to play Mr. Smartass, for a lack of better terms. Excuse my French. But he decided to be smart and try to, make snarky comments, and that went on for a while. And I kind of ignored it, and me and my friend kind of ignored it.
Which is what you should have done from the beginning. Like, you don't have to engage the trolls. You don't have to comment on what they're saying. You just let it be. The smart person wouldn't engage in that. But you, being the fucking retard that you are, decided to poke the bear and see what happens. And this is the result of all of that.
Until, that went on for about, I'd say 2-3 years. And then during the 4th year is when things got really, really bad.
Oh, what
he
happened?
decided to do something that would change the course of my life for the rest of my life. And it has. It's changed my life for the worse. Um, he decided to try to isolate me from my friends and family in the most crude, cruel, awful way you can do it to a person. This man decided to do an illegal, and I do mean very illegal, thing against me. He decided to pull a an illegal entrapment move.
Oh, quit beating around the bush and just fucking say it. Like this is gonna be the texting a minor story, isn't it? That's what this is gonna be. We've all heard this 1,000 times over. You don't have to be soppy and sad about it. Let's just go on and tell the fucking story that you've told 1,000 fucking times already.
And what he did was he hired this other YouTuber by the name of Mass Troll Mafia, who is not very much liked on the internet at all. She's very hated for a lot of valid and very good reasons. And what he did with her to me is I would never wish it on anyone. I would never wish what I've been through on anyone. And what this man did was terrible. He hired her to entrap me illegally. And how he did that was he had her pretend to be an 18-year-old of age female who was interested in me and interested in my work and stuff like that. And over time, while talking, she tricked me into sending certain photos. And once that happened, she sent one back. And then little did I know, she would pull the most vile, evil, disgusting move you could pull on a person. She claimed to be underage.
After he already came to the photo that she sent, right? No, you knew all along that you were talking to an underage child. That's what this was. You were told from the get-go that she was underage and you kept the conversation going. You sent your dick to this person. You brought all of this on yourself. There's just no other way to say it. You're the idiot here. You fucked up.
After sending the photo, which I later found out the photo she sent was actually of her daughter. And I went to the police about it. Nothing got done. And so once that incident happened, my whole life got turned upside down. And I mean, my whole world got turned upside down. From that point on, people would show up to my house, steal things off of my family's porch and from around our house outside. They would, as stupid as it sounds, they would steal no trespassing signs off of our property. And that would also soon escalate into things like people showing up to my house claiming that they know me. People, well, at one point, somebody had shot at me.
Uh, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna get into that fucking story too, which is a giant load of horse shit. He was never shot at, but all these things that have happened to him aren't necessarily a result of the text messages that got leaked and that conversation that went on, because people were calling you a pedophile at that point, and it might have ramped up the trolling to a certain extent, but that's not necessarily the correlation. I get the feeling that people were going to show up to your house and fuck with you regardless of that, because that's just how the cards were written for you, Chance. There was no hope for you from the get-go. Once you decided to create an online presence, that's the end of it. This is all entirely your fault.
Through my window back here, as you guys can see right here, my window, we got the curtain up for obvious reasons. They ended up shooting at me, and the bullet ended up missing me and going into my mattress. And the bullet is still there to this very day. Reason why it's still there is I called the police the very next day. They came out and basically said they weren't going to go after the person because they were probably long gone.
Or, and hear me out, Cyraxx, it's because the story is bullshit and it never happened. You never got shot at. You never got no one ever pulled a gun on you and fired and it missed. They wouldn't miss, first of all. It's just whatever. But to hit to say it hit your mattress is convenient because that way there's no bullet holes in the wall. You can't prove anything there. And oh, it's just so hard to dig out of a mattress, isn't it? Like, you can't just get the bullet out. That's gonna take some time. It's you have to rip the whole mattress apart. You can't just do that. And by the way, you've had this mattress how long now? It's covered in bed bugs. Get rid of the fucking thing, you disgusting fuck.
All right, understandable. I'm sorry. Well, after that happened, Music Biz Marty began showing up to my house uninvited and unwelcome multiple times. First time he left, second time he left after he was confronted by my family because my family was trying to protect me. The third time he showed up, he actually stayed at an Airbnb back here behind my house, which is like catty corner over here, like back this way. And I went over there to confront him calmly. Little did I know that that would lead to me getting beat up severely.
I mean, I hate to play the clip once again, but we do have the clip of what went down. You didn't show up peacefully. You went over there screaming like a fucking lunatic, and then you got your ass handed to you and you cried like a little bitch. You didn't go over there peacefully to try to settle things. There's evidence of this. Why do you lie about it?
And I mean, very severely. I had walked away with a broken nose. I had to get it fixed. I had to get it popped back into place. I had a black eye, all the whole 9 yards. The only reason why I survived that assault was because one of my neighbors saw what was going on and screamed at him to get off of me.
Again, not true. He beat the shit out of you. He told you to like he asked you who the king was. You submitted like a little bitch and said he was, and then he told you to get the fuck up and get out of there, and you left. You did that. It wasn't a neighbor coming to your protection to save you. Marty beat your ass, and then he let you go. That's the only reason you survived that assault. Playing the fucking victim like it's just disgusting.
If it wasn't for that neighbor, I probably would have ended up in the hospital. And soon after that, things would escalate when this guy named Tibbs TV tried to blackmail me and set me up again. What he did was he had one of his little friends pretend to be of age and then underage and then of age again. And I caught on to this very early on. And I told him, look, I know you're of age. Stop screwing around. What's going on? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, why are you screwing with me? I want to talk to a teenager. Why are you screwing around with me and telling me that you're of age? Give me the child. He wants to talk to the child. It's fucking disgusting.
Well, Tibbs TV then decided to come in after that whole incident, and he decided to blackmail me. He threatened to help my parents sue me if I did not admit that I was a pedophile. So, to protect myself and my family from having to go to court against my dad, I had to give him what he wanted because I figured if I gave him what he wanted, that he would leave me alone.
Or you were dumb enough to fall for an empty threat that didn't mean anything and admitted that you were a pedophile, which you are. Like, it's fucking unreal how stupid you could possibly be to think that that kind of a lawsuit would fly. No one was going to sue anybody. No one was going to take your family to court. No one was going to do anything wrong. People just fucking with you, and you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, once again, and admitted that you were a pedophile. Just own it.
Little did I know that that was the wrong move. Because in my mind, I was just protecting my family and my friends. I was protecting myself from harm. I was protecting myself from an evil person because I didn't want to sit there and have to go to court against my own dad, who, yes, he has since disowned me because of the trolling. But there's that part of me that still cared about him. There's that part of me that still loved my dad, that didn't want to fight against him, that didn't want to go to court against my own dad, because I love my dad. Even though he's an asshole, even though me and him do not speak, I still care about him. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. And I figured if I gave this man what he wanted, he would leave me alone. Even though I knew that it was blackmail, I did what I had to do to protect myself and my family.
And how did that turn out for you? Do you feel protected? Does your family feel safe now because you admitted that you were a pedophile, you fucking retard? Like, honestly, like, think these things through before you act. It's not that difficult to do. I don't understand how you're so fucking stupid to fall for the dumbest things. It's baffling.
Little did I know that that would soon come around to make things worse. Over the past 2 years since that incident, I have had several documentaries made about me. At one point, I had actually attempted to self delete.
Oh boy, here we go again with the whole I tried to end my life story. That didn't happen. You didn't try to kill yourself, Cyraxx. Quit saying that you did. It's so fucking irritating at this point. You can't just put a fucking stylus to your neck and pretend that you're going to kill yourself. That's not how this works.
2 different times because of these people. And yes, I did seek help and I got help and I'm doing much better.
Yeah, you sure are. You're doing so much better now, aren't you, Cyraxx? That's why you make all these videos and you got these conspiracy theories. You still think Music Biz Marty is alive. Like you can't help yourself but be this delusional fuck who's just so fucking stupid. But no, you're doing so much better now. I agree.
I have been relentlessly ridiculed. I have lost my job with the platform that I used to be a part of called Twitch. A lot of you guys might know it. Um, because of these people, I had lost all my sponsors. I had lost everything because of these people.
He makes it out to be like he was this big multi-millionaire streamer who had all these sponsorship deals and all this good stuff going on for him, but he didn't have any of that. He didn't have the fame that he thinks he had. Like he barely gets monetized. Like he's not a celebrity. This level of delusion is just unreal.
This next part is one of the hardest parts for me to even talk about, even still, because it's so recent. Over the past couple of months, these people have done some very, very vile stuff beyond what I thought was possible. You see, back in October of last year, I began dating my high school sweetheart, Kira Grave, who, like I said, I've known since high school.
We're going to go into this. We're going to talk about how the trolls drove her away into the arms of a meth head. It's their fault, right? It's not your fault, and it's not Kira's fault for making these shitty decisions. It's the trolls' fault. Just get over yourself, dude. This is just really ridiculous. And you're talking to a professor in a college class or like a group of people. You don't have to give out names. I'm sure Kira doesn't appreciate the doxing.
And me and her dated, from October of last year up until last month. What these people did was they sent a troll to her to the place she was staying at
The homeless shelter.
and tricked her into thinking that this dude was a good dude and that I was a bad guy. she left me without saying a word or anything. And to this day, I still get relentlessly ridiculed. Because when I was with her, she has a son named Callum. And to me, because I was there during Callum's entire life, to me, he was my son. I helped to raise him as much as I could from my.
You only dated this woman for like 3 or 4 months at the most. Don't sit there and talk about this kid like he's your own. It's disgusting to me that you think that you were in any way, shape, or form a father figure to this individual. This guy, she lives in a different state. You don't even see Kira. You never actually dated. You never fucked her. You never did anything. This is on these online relationships that you have are just a joke. And yeah, Kira went into the arms of a meth head. That's her decision. That's not the trolls. That's no one else's fault but hers. And yours for being a spineless little pussy.
And that's one of the reasons why it hurts so much to talk about that, because when she left, not only did I lose the woman that I lost somebody that I saw as my son, as my own flesh and blood. And that hurt a lot. But here recently, things have gotten ramped up quite a bit in a very, very bad way. These people have began DDoSing me. They have done several DDoS attacks to the point where I've had to reinstall Windows onto my computer at least 3 different times. These people have bricked 2 of my Xboxes over the last 8 years.
It's good to see where his priorities are, right? Like, oh, things were really bad. They took away the love of my life and my son. This is horrible. I'm really hurt by it. But what really bothers me the most is that they DDoSed my computers and they bricked 2 of my Xboxes. Like, come on, dude. This is just a joke.
I now no longer have an Xbox because of them.
Oh no.
And it's been hard. To this day, I still get relentlessly attacked over and over and over. Like, if I go to make a brand new Facebook under a name that, isn't even my name, they still find me. And it's the same thing with YouTube. I make a brand new channel, they somehow find it. These people have done everything from steal my music and go into the fake artist name, Lance Chilkins, which is my name with some of the letters mixed around. They have stolen and copywritten a lot of, if not all of my music that I've released over the last 8 years.
And whose fault is that? Why didn't you copyright your own shit? If you're that serious about becoming a recording artist and music is your thing and this is what you want to do, then why wouldn't you copyright your own stuff before other people got to it? You stupid fuck. It's not their fault that they beat you to it. It's actually kind of hilarious. You're not able to post you're putting out new music now. You think that you would have learned your lesson at this point and started copywriting your shit, but no, you're not, are you? So it's just going to get stolen again and again and again, and no lessons are going to be learned here.
These people have made it pretty much impossible for me to get a job.
Oh God, here we go again. I can't get a job because of the trolls. Like, no, you can't get a job because you have no discernible skills to contribute to society. You can't get a job because you're lazy and you don't want to work. Like, you think that your idea of working is going online and racing like a fucking retard on a game, or screaming vocal covers, or playing a shitty instrument. Like, you're not contributing to society. You don't deserve to have a job. I would love to see you work, but let's be honest, that's just not going to happen.
Because no one around here wants to hire me because of the things that they've done to me. And these people they've caused my family a lot of pain and heartache. Like I said, I've had friends that have walked away and abandoned me. I've had friends, that I was close to for 17 plus years walk out of my life. I've had family members that I've had to disown because they decided to side with the troll community. Before I was being trolled really, really bad, before it got bad, I was doing stuff like this. This is actually a plaque from 2021 when I had released my first physical album, which is no longer available, sadly, because I ran out of copies. But that's the kind of stuff that I do. I have been told that.
You're showing a framed album like it's a platinum record or something. Like, this is the sort of thing that I was doing before the trolls got to. Like, no, you're just putting out shitty music. We've gone over it multiple times. It's fine. Just own up to it. To sit there and have the delusion that before I was being trolled, I was this big successful recording artist. It's just not true. Like, quit lying to yourself and to all these people who are listening to you. And you can tell he's lying because he closes his eyes whenever he starts to tell a story or a lie. He looks up and he has his eyes closed as he's trying to talk to you. It's fucking stupid.
I talk to kids when I don't. These people make up screenshots just to fuel their narrative, and it kills me because this is what I deal with every day: being attacked relentlessly, being gone after. This has been my life for the last 8 years, and that's the reality of what I deal with: DDoS attacks daily, and being harassed and attacked daily because of these evil people. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did, um, please share my story with everyone. Let's hopefully you guys can team with your professor to try to put a stop to this.
That's a face, first of all. But how? How is one classroom and a college professor going to stop all these relentless trolling and attacks that are going on against you? Like, this is just ridiculous. And you said your goodbyes already. We still have what? Jesus Christ, we're only halfway through this fucking video. This is just bullshit. What else do you have to say at this point?
Because I don't want to see any of you end up in the same position that I ended up. I ended up in a very messed up position. One minute I was hanging out, doing my music, living my life, and then the next minute I'm fighting for my life every day. Because of these people, I deal with PTSD, I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety and panic attacks, I deal with night terrors, I deal with all of that on a daily basis because of this. My mental health has deteriorated over time, but thankfully I have been getting help. I have been seeing a counselor, and thank God it's the counselor that I know. He's actually a good dude. And I do have a great support system with my friends and my family. But one tactic that these people will use quite often is the tactic of, if you don't stop talking to him, we're going to do this to you and that to you, and attack your friends and attack your family. And they do this on Kiwi Farms. They do this on YouTube posts, on Reddit posts, on Facebook groups dedicated to going after me, all because they want to fuel their narrative.
Or they're just alerting these people that are in your corner that, hey, you're supporting a pedophile and a pedophile defender and a creep and a fucking moron, and you might want to change that before people come after you. You know, these all like no one's attacking other people because of you, Cyraxx. Like that's just not happening.
And I'm hoping that, you know, through my story, I can inspire some of you guys to take action against this kind of stuff, because what I got put through is not okay. What I got put through was very evil and very cruel and very, very messed up. I've even asked this main guy, Music Biz Marty, what his deal is and why he decided to target me. And he could never come up with a clear, valid answer.
That's not true. He gave you answers all the time. Every time that he talked to you and you asked that question, he answered it. You just never listened. You wouldn't shut the fuck up over your screaming and rambling and angry nonsense that you'd spew out to ever actually hear what anyone has to say to you. That's just how it is. You don't listen.
At all. But I do hope that you guys can, you know, take something away from this. And I do hope that this video inspires you guys to take action against Kiwi Farms and the troll community and people like Music Biz Marty, N-Word Boy, and William Glory Hole, and Mash Troll Mafia, and other people out there that are very, very evil that like to do this stuff. And I'm not the only one. There's many other people out there, such as King Cobra JFS, and just more recently, another very good example. More recently, over the last couple of years, is the TikToker known as the Inquisitor, who went through a very similar situation. And if you don't know that situation, I highly, highly suggest and I highly urge you guys to look that up. That is another person that went through a very similar incident to what I deal with and to what I went through.
Well, if you're so knowledgeable on who the Inquisitor is and all this, maybe you can give the people a brief history lesson. You know, you'd be like, oh, yeah, and this also happened to a guy called the Inquisitor. And if you don't know who that is, that's a person who blah, blah, blah. It takes nothing to say that. But you just keep blurting this dude's name out without actually knowing any of the actual facts behind his story or what went down. And you can't name any other people who are being victims of trolling besides King Cobra JFS, which is just sad because there are a lot of lolcows out there that you could list.
But more recently, there was another person that the troll community considers a low cow by the name of Tofia Chu, who was shot at, and her mom was hospitalized, and her brother was shot and killed because she would not do what the trolls wanted. And they shot and killed her brother, and they hospitalized her mom. Thankfully, she made it out okay.
Again, you can tell he's lying because of his eyes being shut and the way he's not looking at the camera like an honest man. Like, yeah, the Tofia Chu incident is a sad one for her family, and whatever. Like, I'm not looking for anyone to get shot and killed, but it wasn't over trolling. It wasn't a troll who shot her. It was a carjacking incident. Like, as far as I know, it was a carjacking incident. It wasn't anyone actually trolling these people who targeted them and shot at them. But Cyraxx is going to twist the narrative around and make it about the trolls so that he can feel better about himself.
Thankfully, Tofia Chu and her mom are okay, but unfortunately, her brother has passed and succumbed to his injuries.
Succumbed.
But I do hope that you guys gain something from this. And believe it or not, there's a lot of videos out there on me where people have attacked me relentlessly. I know that there's a lot of videos of me raging out, and those videos of me raging out are genuinely me getting upset because I was tired of being bullied. I was tired of being pushed aside. I was tired of being attacked relentlessly. And I just hope and pray that you guys see that I'm just like you guys. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just an honest person trying to make an honest living for myself, my friends, my family, so I can have a future for myself and and my friends and family can have a future. But I just want to say thank you guys for taking this moment to watch this video. I do sincerely appreciate what you guys are doing with this. Um, and if you guys would like to reach out to me at any point in time, what I will do is I will give my friend here my Discord. Well, he has my Discord. If you guys would like to reach out to me there, you can. But I will also give him my Facebook and my email address for you guys, so that if anybody wants to reach out and talk, we could definitely do that, because I want to get a discussion going. I want to inspire you guys to try to make a change on social media, because this is something that is plaguing not only me.
Again, you're talking to a small group of people. No real change is going to be done. You can't do anything to change social media. I don't know how many times that has to be said to you. You yourself are not going to change the way that the internet works. It's just not going to happen. And no matter how many times you cry about your sad little sob story, and how many times you lie about history to make yourself out to be the fucking victim in all of this, it's not going to change anything. It never has, and it never will.
But a lot of social media in general is evil stuff like this that goes on, that social media does not do anything about, that social media does need to do something about. And like I said, what I mentioned to you guys earlier in this video is just a handful of things that are very evil that they have done to me. They have also done far worse things that I can't even say, because they are that vile and that evil. And they had me do them to myself.
Or you did those things to yourself just because you're a stupid fuck who falls for any trick that gets put in front of you. Like, it's not their fault that you shoved a pen up your ass. The same pen that you tried to end your life with. Like, it's not their fault that you exposed yourself countless times on stream. It's your fault. You did all this shit.
And there are things that I can't share on camera that, were very wrong and very, very vile. And because of those other things, every day I feel defiled and violated. Every day, because of these people. And it's wrong. But I do hope that you guys, sincerely, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, if you guys would like to reach out to me, you guys can. As I said, my friend here has my Discord. And if you guys would like my Facebook, I'll send him both my Facebook and my email. So if any of you guys would like to reach out to me at any given time, you're more than welcome to. I would love to get to know you guys. I would love to hang out with y'all. And hopefully, even though I'm here in Ohio, hopefully we can all come together to try to make a change for the better, to not only get my life back that was stolen from me, but hopefully together we can come together and make a better change for social media, because
Your life wasn't taken from you, it wasn't stolen. You wasted it. That's all.
I want to be the voice, and I want to help you guys to be a voice for social media and for people that get bullied and underhandedly screwed with and scrutinized. Because these kinds of people that I deal with, they are very evil. And no one deserves to go through what I went through, what my family went through for the last 8 years. My life has been miserable. It has been a never-ending nightmare for me. And I just hope that we can all come together to try to make a change on social media, to try to, make things better, not only for myself, but safer for everyone in general. Because as I said, I would not wish what I went through on anybody. And I hope and pray that if any of you guys are looking to do social media of any kind, whether it's content creating on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, you know, just be careful of who you talk to. Because people like that I've dealt with are evil people. They are very vile. They are disgusting. And quite frankly, I have had said and done a lot of things that may not be right or okay. But I only did those things because my family had reached out to law enforcement and every branch of authorities that we could to seek help in the very beginning. But law enforcement or any form of authorities have failed us.
Oh, so now it's the cops' fault that you exposed yourself on camera and did all these vile, horrible things. Like, don't sit there and act like you're the victim in all of this, dude. Like you have done some pretty fucked up shit on the internet that's justified the reaction that people give you. It's your fault that you put yourself in this spot.
And which left me feeling desperate. And so I decided to try to, stop myself, and that ultimately didn't go very well. At one point, it actually ended up me almost getting arrested. But thankfully, my family stepped in and whatnot and explained what's going on. And yeah, that whole thing, you know. But
So I guess we're going to brush over the time where you actually did get arrested for assault. We're not going to talk about that, right? Because that's going to paint you in a bad light. We can't have that.
again, guys, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to hear me out because, as I said, I've been dealing with this for over 8 years. And I want to make a change for the better. I want to put a stop to this just as much as I know a lot of you guys would like to see this put to a stop. Because I want to be my old self again, where I can record songs and release them and, do live shows and live cover shows and, do things that I used to do. Because before all this went on, I was doing everything from photography, artwork. I have friends that are in bands. I would go and see them and show support for them and hang out with them at all their shows because they're local bands, and I would actually get out and I would have fun. I would live my life. And hopefully, with your guys' help, I can get back to that. And hopefully, with me, your guys' Professor Nick, shout out to you, sir, and to, my friend here with, all of our helps, maybe we can come together and find a solution to put an end to this and to raise awareness for people like myself that get put through this on a daily basis. Because when I say these people don't have any morals, they don't. They will do everything from create fake screenshots to clipping and sewing together videos to make it look like you're saying something that you're not saying just to fit their narrative. They will dig into your real life, find out your friends.
Getting in front of shit already. He's like, yo, yeah, all those audio clips you guys are going to look up where I'm saying fucked up things. It's not me. It's the trolls piecing it together to make it sound like I'm saying fucked up things. Okay.
Your family, where you work, all that stuff, just so they can do what they want with you. And it's very evil. It's very underhanded. It's very vile. It's very cruel, and it's not okay. But again, guys, I'm sorry for the rant, but I thank you guys for watching this. I truly do. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did, share this around with your friends, your family. Let's get a conversation going. Let's get this rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. And let's try to put a stop to this so that, you guys can actually see the real me instead of the me that I'm sure you guys will see online. I want people to see who I really am as a person. Because that person that everybody's making me out to be online, you can ask your guys' friend here. That's not who I am in real life. I'm a music artist. I love.
If that's not the real you, then why do you post that shit? Like it's the real you. Who you present yourself as online is not a character. You didn't make the decision to, I'm just gonna act like a complete idiot who rages out all the time, says hateful things, does fucked up shit on a regular basis. But that's just a character. It's not the real me. And you guys never get the chance to see the real me because that's online. And I'm not going to be on. Like, come on, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You are who you've always been. And I'm just going to inspire people with my music. Like, you guys have listened to his music. It's a joke. There's no actually, he steals beats. He doesn't know song theory. He doesn't understand, like, breaking up songs into verses and choruses and having a hook and the importance of it being catchy. It's just one long stream of thought that's shat out to some terrible music. But he's going to inspire people.
To inspire people through my music. I love to evoke and get emotions and reactions out of my dark artwork because I do a lot of dark horror and reality based artwork that's very dark but also very you know it'll make you think. Like I want to be able to do stuff like that again. I want to be able to release merchandise again. But hopefully with your guys' help, hopefully that can happen. But again, thank you guys to my friend who had me do this. I appreciate you, man. And again, to your guys' professor, thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to share my story. I genuinely appreciate it 1,000%. I truly and genuinely appreciate your help. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys. And as I always say to all my actual followers, stay humble, stay positive, keep being yourself, and keep chasing your dreams. See you guys later.
Yeah, what a fucking joke that was. Like, it's the troll's fault that he can't put out any artwork or any music or anything. And I was supposed to feel sorry for him. It's just fucking ridiculous. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. I want to thank you for taking the time to go through this video with me. Hopefully, Cyraxx is back at it again soon with some more content. We can continue to go through that. Maybe I'll do a best of, and we'll dive down. We'll dive into some Cyraxx lore and find some gems in the meantime. We got King Cobra JFS to look forward to too, and there's other topics that we can cover. But that's gonna wrap it up. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on X over at Worst of Pod. And until next time,